are fucking kidding me. Dude, I've completely lost all fucking hope at this point. But if it does, I'm just gonna fucking give up here because I cannot. I give up. And to think I was giving up so early. Are you fucking kidding me? Alright, hey guys, it's Shirley XML here, and today we are going to be trying to install Windows 8.1 Delta Edition on real hardware again. So, before the video starts, I would just like to mention that part where I was talking about how the Maxell DVD has a larger capacity than the verbatim DVD, it has a maximum capacity of 4.7 gigabytes, was actually unfortunately a lie. I put the DVD in the built-in DVD drive, and after struggling to get it to read because apparently it was really scratched up, it only displayed that it had 4.38 gigabytes. So like, that's really such a shame. I thought it was 4.7 like the DVD said on the cover. The only 4.7 that I saw that matched was really the amount of bytes, which does not amount to the amount of gigabytes. So that really sucks. It's just short of being able to hold the Windows 8.1 Delta ISO. So we are once again stuck with the SD card, and as it turns out, I didn't need to be using the SD card reader for the laptops to recognize the USB, because my dumb ass didn't even realize that there's an SD card port on all of the laptops that I use the SD card on. The only thing that I needed the SD card reader for was for my main PC, because that doesn't have an SD card port. So, look, SD card port, SD card port, SD card port. So yeah, now I'm feeling a little bit silly, I'm feeling a little bit stupid. So yeah, we're going to be using the SD card to see if we can upgrade from Windows 7 Delta to 8.1 Delta, which I think will still work perfectly fine, but you never know. I'm gonna go ahead and slip the SD card into the SD card slot. So while the SD card loads into the system, I was searching around on the Windows Delta website, and let's try to ignore the puppy. Cream is barking her head off, and I don't know at what. But I was looking around at the Windows Delta website, and I found out that the 7 and 8.1 ISOs are actually 64-bit only, while XP and Vista were x86. And that is why we couldn't get 7 Delta to work on the Linux PC, because it's 32-bit as it turns out. The SD card does not seem to be loading in. I see that as a problem. Maybe I do need the SD card reader. Well, would you look at that, the SD card port isn't working. So I do need the SD card reader. There we go. Multi-boot G. So yeah, I don't know why the SD card port wasn't working. Once again, the dogs are going fucking crazy, so let's ignore that. Let's check that it still has the ISO, Windows 8.1 Delta Beta 1, Yumi, menu.lc. Wait, where's the ISO? I know ISO. Oh, here it is. Okay. Can we mount the ISO? The cursor seems to be having a seizure. From the looks of things, I don't think we can actually boot, or not boot, mount the ISO. If we still can't, then that's gonna suck. And it really sucks that that Maxell DVD is scratched up, because it's actually too damaged for the DVD-RW drive, the USB one I mean, to actually pick up. So unfortunately I can't burn the Windows 8.1 Delta ISO to that disk. And that really sucks, honestly. But where did I put it? You know what's interesting? I realized that I had a DVD, like a whole other DVD, not that one. Where'd I put it? This DVD here says that it has some sort of drivers. I'm not sure what kinds of drivers these are for, but it says Windows 10, 8.7, and Vista, or Mac 10.8 and above. I wonder if we can use this to, like, help the setup go by, so that if we're stuck using the USB SD card reader again, we won't get that driver error. I wonder if this will help us get past that. I really doubt it, but I'm intrigued. I'm like had this thing in like some sort of envelope for weeks or months now, and I just never understood what it's for, so I guess now we'll find out. Actually, you know what? Now would be the perfect time to put it in the DVD drive and check it out. Don't tell me this is stuff for like a drawing tablet. Are you serious? Bizarre, but probably not what we're looking for. Actually, no, fuck it. If it helps with the install, it helps with the install, but otherwise it's useless. We don't know what we can use these for. But you know what? As long as the DVD's in the drive, then it shouldn't throw the driver error anyway, but computers are a mystery. So we are still stuck with the SD card reader. And nothing works when we're using the SD card reader. So I don't have a good feeling about this. F12. USB mass storage device. Unlisted ISOs, Windows 8.1, pressing the key to boot, and let's see what happens. I really doubt that this is gonna work. Okay, so we're at Windows setup. I'm gonna hit next, install now, and let's see if that DVD helps the installation process go by. I think it's still gonna throw that error, so we're gonna try and see if we can select some drivers from that DVD and see if Windows will give a shit. I don't think it will. Yep. Here it goes. Media driver blah blah blah. No device drivers were found. You're joking. No device drivers were found. Okay. So it still doesn't help. And the manual deployment thing still doesn't work, does it? Guys, I think we're finally getting somewhere with the manual deployment thing. So I copied the files of the ISO itself directly to the volume where I had the Yumi stuff on it, and I ran DISM, checked the install.wim file, and it picked up Windows 8.1 Delta. So if we're lucky, we should be able to finally manually deploy Windows 8.1 Delta to the F drive, which is the drive that has Windows 7 Delta on it currently. So will this work? Wait, I think I finally got it to work. Did we actually successfully get it to start manually deploying? Oh my god, we did. We are manually deploying Windows 8.1 Delta. Holy shit. If this works, then that is going to be huge. So basically, what manually deploying does is it allows us to install Windows without going through the whole setup thingy. We are overriding the F drive, which is Windows 7 Delta, with the Windows 8.1 install.wim file, so we should be able to skip straight to the out-of-box experience on Windows 8.1 Delta if this goes through successfully. This is absolutely huge. I didn't think that I'd be able to successfully pull it off. I would have thought that there would be like a bunch of like errors, and then I'd have to give up once again, and then it would just be installing Windows 8.1 Delta Edition on real hardware, but everything still goes wrong. Which, honestly, I'm not gonna celebrate too early here. Something could still happen, and it could, like, all come crashing down. So we might not be done here. We might still have to keep our fingers crossed. So, yeah, let's hope for the best. I'm gonna go ahead and time-lapse the rest here. And there goes our first problem. So the directory is not empty. At least that's an easily solvable thing. The only problem is I don't know if using the diskpart clean command will clean the entire freaking computer. I don't want it to do that. I want it to clean the volume. So be right back. Okay, so I have just wiped the F drive as seen above. So Windows 7 Delta is no more. Now the directory is empty, so we will be able to install, or rather manually deploy, Windows 8.1 Delta Edition. So I'm going to go ahead and time-lapse, and let's hope no errors happen. Fingers crossed. The operation completed successfully. Would you look at that? We successfully manually deployed Windows 8.1 Delta Edition. Okay, so we're gonna turn off. And we don't even need the SD card reader at this point because it should already be set up and ready to go into the out-of-box experience. So from here on out, we don't even need any media. So let's see. It still says that the top volume is Windows 7, but it is in fact Windows 8.1 Delta Edition. We have successfully manually deployed Windows 8.1 Delta Edition. Holy shit. The one thing that I didn't expect to work because it was going to be too finicky. And we got it working. It would have been cooler if we did like an upgrade thing like we did from XP to Vista at the beginning of the Delta series, but holy crap. Setup is updating registry settings. The only thing that can stop us at this point is a blue screen, and I don't think that's gonna happen. We're all set. I at least hope that Windows 8.1 Delta has more to offer compared to Windows 7 Delta, because, not gonna lie, Windows 7 Delta, although it had really cool stuff like Live Essentials and Dream Scene, it was still kind of disappointing. Like, I feel like with the older shell system, you could do a lot more, and that's probably why the Windows XP themes looked cool, and I think the same sort of applies for Vista, because Vista could somehow handle the Luna theme, which I find to be interesting. Let's hope that some really epic themes make up for the lack of customizability, if you get what I'm saying, with the new shell system. I mean, I guess technically I'm wrong, because despite the new shell system, you have custom builds like the Windows Experience Freestyle update, which literally reprogram Windows 10 to look like Windows XP, which is really impressive. But I think that's related to like coding, not just a bunch of like themes. The first boot sequence seems to be taking a long time, so I might time-lapse. But the thing is, I don't know how much longer it's going to be like this, so I could end up starting a time-lapse and it only lasts like 10 seconds in real time, and then restarting. Okay. As I was saying, I could like freaking start a time lapse now, but then it only lasts 10 real life seconds. And then the time lapse itself would be like 1 millisecond or something. The top entry still says Windows 7. I didn't even get to change it to 7 Delta. So I still have yet to edit those boot entries, and I think I will the moment that I log in. So it took a lot less time to boot this time. Never mind, it's back. Is it going to configure more stuff, or are we going to be able to boot? Oh, here we go. Out-of-box experience. All right. Region and language. United States, US. We're not in Pacific time. Eastern time. US and Canada. Next. Product key. Let's skip that. Let's just hope that the time bomb doesn't go off instantly like it did for 7 Delta. Interestingly enough, this is the only version of Windows Delta to change the EULA. I don't know why. Okay, so that just seemed to be like a copy of the EULA, but every time it mentions Windows 8.1, it adds Delta to it. Okay, so personalize. Welcome to Windows. Enter a computer name and a color to make it unique and personal. I'm gonna go for that. Actually, something more like that. And our username is going to be Shirley Delta Final. Shirley Delta Final. Because this is the final release in the Windows Delta series. Computer name is too long. Okay, so we'll just go for Shirley Delta. And networks again. Let's skip this step. Okay, so Shirley Delta Final. We're going to skip the password. Finalizing your settings. Hello! We're setting things up for you. Alright. You can get new apps from the store, installing your apps. So while this is going on, did I already mention that this is going to be based off of like the Windows 8 developer preview? Apparently it's not a really early build from quote-unquote before Windows 8 was Windows 8. But it's based off of the developer preview. I was reading around on the Windows Delta website. So apparently Windows 8 can throw driver errors. It's just not as common as for Windows Vista or 7. So that threw me off guard. I thought Windows 8 was supposed to be more compatible, but whatever. Taking care of a few things, that's good. So when it says like let's start or something like that, we should get taken straight to the desktop because the start screen should be completely removed. It's supposed to bring back the start menu and, Arrow Glass or something like that. I can't believe we finally got this working. This feels like such a huge W. Getting your apps ready, alright. Almost ready, alright. Let's start, alrighty. Desktop? Desktop, right. So at first glance it looks to be Windows 7, but you can see the Microsoft Store icon here. But yeah, the, ooh. It has a link to the start screen. Aha, so the start screen wasn't completely removed. It was just like, the start menu re-added seems to like take priority. Wait, huh? Wait. Why are there just 2 volumes? Uh-oh. Aw, man. Did freaking, command prompt do something it shouldn't have? I only see 2 volumes here. Well, yeah, let's take a look at all programs. Ooh, Windows 8.1 Delta settings. There's a unique folder there. Games. Oh, Mahjong Titans is now just Mahjong. That's interesting. Other than that, it's more of the same. Yeah, literally only Mahjong changed there. Windows 8.1 Delta settings. 7 Plus taskbar tweaker, Arrow Glass settings, old new Explorer configuration, OpenShell start menu settings, and README. Right. Accessories. Oh, Task Manager Legacy, so we got another legacy software there. Tablet PC, Windows Journal. Oh, so we do have a tablet PC software here. So that's pretty interesting. Got some stuff for tablet PCs, although only 1 program. Windows System, I don't think that was there before. File Explorer, Private Character Editor. Never seen that in the start menu before. Embedded Lockdown Manager. Right, so do we still have Dream Scene? No, Dream Scene was removed. Can we change the screen resolution, or is it already at max? It's already at max, okay. Personalize. Let's see what we can do here. So the currently applied theme is Windows, which is supposed to look like Windows 7, I assume. Lines and colors. Oh, interesting. And this build of Windows Delta actually changes the branding text, which I find to be interesting. And for some reason, the ta-da sound appears to be the first half of one of the alarms. I do not know why. Windows 7. Ooh. Windows 8 release preview. Windows 8 RTM. Hey, that is the first time that I've actually legitimately heard the Windows logon sound. Then we have architecture, characters, earth, landscapes, nature, and scenes. High contrast themes, Windows... Oh, I don't know why my cursor jumped. Windows Basic and all the high contrast things. So, Windows Classic is gone. Damn, that's crazy. The closest we get to Classic now is Windows Basic. I think I'll use lines and colors because it's the most Windows 8-ish. The caps lock is on. Whoops. Task MGR. Which one will run if we use if we type Task MGR into run? The new one. Right, I should have known. So the CPU usage is clearly a lot better. It spiked up for a little bit there, but that was probably because I was opening up Task Manager. That's actually really impressive. It idles at like 1 to 2%. That is significantly better than 7 Delta. Yeah, 3 is like the highest that it's gone. Something that struck me as odd is the fact that this build seems to like literally only have themes. Flash Player. It is Flash Player built in? That's interesting. But yeah, I only see like legacy programs and themes. Is that all the 8.1 Delta is? It just recreates the Windows 7 taskbar aside from like the Microsoft Store. The Microsoft Store is probably the only Windows 8 thing about this. Oh no, am I stuck? Never mind, I'm not stuck. Are you serious? Is that all that Windows 8.1 Delta is? Has it really gotten to this degree of simple? I'm gonna open diskmgmt.msc. I want to know what's going on with there only being 2 volumes, because I did not erase my original Windows 7 volume. I only erased the 7 Delta volume. So I want to know what's going on there. Oh, here's the Windows 7 volume, so it lost its drive letter. I guess that makes sense now. So it didn't wipe the original Windows 7, drive. It just lost its letter for some reason. That is so weird. What the hell happened for it to lose its letter? I formatted a different volume, and apparently what I did affected that one. Okay, whatever. Good to know that my stuff is safe, though. I'm saving this unallocated space for a potential, other install of Windows. I don't think I'll be able to get MS-DOS on there, so I'll see what I can do there. But yeah, how disappointing is that? It only seems to be like themes and gadgets. Oh yeah, the sidebar is still here. Right. They re-added the sidebar, I guess there's that. But there's even less gadgets compared to 7, dude. Feed headlines probably doesn't work. Search with Internet Explorer for RSS feeds and add them with the orange icon in the command bar. Oh, so we can customize the feeds that we see here. I guess that makes sense. We don't need clock. MSN weather. Will it work? Service not available. So that's still not available, sadly. Next desktop background. Oh, that's cool. So now we can cycle through the wallpapers whenever we want, instead of when Windows decides to change the wallpaper. That's nice. Ooh, I like this one. It looks like sheets of paper, but it reminds me of like a really rocky wall. I don't know why. Like a strangely colored rocky wall. I don't know, seems kind of random of me to say, but I hate to say it, but I think we've already reached the end. There does not seem to be much at all for Windows 8.1 Delta. Aside from all the various themes, it seems to just be completely focused on aesthetic this time. That is such a shame. I really expected more. I do wonder what embedded lockdown I do wonder what embedded lockdown manager is. I have no idea what that is. Never seen it before, never heard of it. Let's see what that's all about. Embedded lockdown manager enables you to configure and lock down an embedded device. Yeah, I don't know what it means by embedded device, so I'm just gonna leave that be. But yeah, I hate to say it. Once again, I hate to repeat myself, more importantly, but that really is it for Windows 8.1 Delta. There's literally nothing else to show off. We already went through the themes, we already looked at the apps. There's nothing else to do. Alarms, calculator, calendar, camera, food and drink, games, health and fitness, help plus tips, Internet Explorer, mail, maps, money, music, news, OneDrive, OneNote. Oh yeah, it's OneDrive now. In Windows 8, it was called SkyDrive. I forgot about that. I guess that's a tiny detail. PC settings, people, photos, blah, 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 blah. PC settings. Oh, you need to activate Windows before you can personalize your PC. Well, that sucks. But yeah, I guess that went by quicker than I thought. We are already at the end of not only Windows 8.1 Delta, but the Delta series in itself. I guess I can't blame the Delta developers, but yeah, we're just left with this. It's Windows 8.1 with a Windows 7-like interface and a bunch of themes. That's literally what this is at this point. Or I hate to end off the entire series on something so bland, but we got it working. Windows 8.1 Delta Edition on real hardware. The whole point wasn't to freaking make the operating system look all fancy and stuff. The whole point was to install it on real hardware, and we installed it on real hardware. So I guess we met our goal. But Windows 8.1 is boring for real. I'm sorry, but like, I feel like the vanilla Windows 8 has more to offer. I haven't used Windows 8 in a while. I lost my train of thought. I'm not a Windows 8 person. I grew up with 10. Well, I grew up with 7, and then when I got my first laptop, which was the purple laptop, that had Windows 10 on it. This just feels like Windows 8.1 with a few extra apps, but yeah, apps and tweaks, I should say. But yeah, that's the end of the Windows Delta series. We're ending off like this. Well, that's all. We successfully installed all versions of Windows Delta Edition on real hardware. We had a few setbacks along the way, but we eventually persevered and met our goals. This isn't necessarily, I wouldn't say that this is the end of the Windows Delta series. Like, we're not going to be doing any more installing Windows Delta stuff on real hardware, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we're done with Windows Delta completely. You'll see. I want to keep my plans a surprise for now, but we are done with the installing stuff, but we're not done with Windows Delta itself yet. Thanks for watching me install every version of Windows Delta on real hardware. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you had a laugh at my temporary failures. And I will see you next time for some more installing Windows projects. But yeah, peace out.